Hello, coaches. We finished session 3 last week, and session 4 of Managing Matters starts on Thursday, April 28th. Before we set the table for session 4, I just want to recap about session 3. In session 3, we started with a statement, the last time we talked about blank. Great coaches anchor and link their prior conversations. This is an idea that will become a habit as you practice. We know it works, so just try it. We also spoke about leadership, your leadership brand, and the 3 hats you wear. Sometimes you're the manager, sometimes you're the coach, and sometimes you're the leader. And being able to toggle back and forth is a skill you'll develop. Session 3 was about managing the risk, which is asking you to put on that manager hat, and we spoke about the 4 ways we manage risk. We can reduce the risk. The best example is the daily safety inspection. We reduce the risk by identifying and correcting safety hazards. The second way is we can transfer a risk. We transfer the risk to someone else. For example, fleet insurance for our trucks and vehicles has the insurance company accepting the risk in exchange for insurance premiums. The third option is we accept the risk. Some level of risk is acceptable. Life has risk. We accept that each of our members of our team are going to come to do their best, avoid hazards, and be honest in their dealings with customers. We also accept that customers will come into our premises and do the same. We accept a level of risk every day. Now, the last is we can avoid the risk altogether. There are things we just don't do. For example, in safety, we do it safe or we don't do it at all. Avoiding a risk is the final way to manage risk. We also introduced the universe of knowledge. The concept that our slice of knowledge that each of us has is a tiny fraction of 1% of the world's knowledge. And the rate is doubling of human knowledge every 12 hours. There is a lot that we don't know, and that gap is continuing to grow. This is really important when you're trying to understand employment law. We have 3 tools in our tool belt. First, you can call HR. If something comes up, just call us. We talk about it immediately. The concept is sunrise, sunset. If the issue comes up in the morning, call HR before sunset. If the issue comes up in the evening, reach out to HR first thing in the morning. Another tool is to apply the risk meter. On a scale of 1 to 10, what's the potential level of risk? And what actions can we take to mitigate the risk or reduce it? And sometimes, I'll be honest, you're not in the best position to determine the risk and best actions. So better to be safe than sorry. So go back to tool number 1 and call HR. The third is to follow best practices. We use the traffic light example to illustrate the concept, red, yellow, and green. We talked about the importance of always try to stay in the green. Whether you're a manager in the US or Canada, you're expected to follow the laws and regulations in the country you work. And we know there's a lot in the US. There's 180 laws, and there's state laws, federal laws, there's regulatory interpretations, judge-made law. The same and even more goes for managers who operate in the Canadian regulatory environment. We asked 5 things. First, you have a duty to report violations, potential violations, using that sunrise or sunset formula. Second, learn to identify the ABC roadblocks. What you say matters. Your response towards sets the tone for everything that's going to happen after. Third, better be safe than sorry, so ask for help and always follow best practices to stay green. We all make decisions. A manager makes about 10 different decisions. Any one of these decisions can potentially create an issue if you made that decision based on a protected characteristic of a person's identity. These are covered by anti-discrimination laws. Staying in the green means we never make a decision based on protected characteristics. For example, when we hire somebody, we always hire the best, most qualified person. We look at the skills and talents and the abilities to fill the requirements outlined in the job description. We never base a decision on the person's protected characteristics. We call these the ABC roadblocks, and to drive the point, we think about safety cones and using caution. And these are to help us raise our awareness that there are protected categories for every letter in the alphabet. These ABC roadblocks can never be used when we make a decision. We concluded session 3 with a review of the training of our company policy to prevent sexual harassment, discrimination, and retaliation. The summary is this: as a manager, you can never have an off-the-record conversation. And once we learn of inappropriate behavior, we're put on notice. When there is notice, we have to promptly report it and investigate. Acknowledge the employee for raising a concern. That's really important. And then call us. And there's so many ways to report, there's never a reason why it can't be reported. So to recap, session 1, we explained our leadership model, the 3 hats and the coaching model. Session 2 is about self-discovery and the importance of behavior styles, and that coaching is always about improving performance. And as we coach, we need to keep in check the law of limited performance to make sure our team is capturing that 10 to 20% of untapped potential that we leave on the table every day. It is the power and the need to be great coaches. And in session 3, we raised our awareness of the other thing about how do we manage risk. Now we're ready to apply the coaching model in session 4. I can't wait. So to be ready means the following task. For the next session, review the labor law posters that are posted on your site. Send a picture of them to me. Check the last time the poster was updated and send that information along with your picture. Second, identify a potential coachee. Complete a behavior assessment on this person. If you've already done one, pick another person because you're just practicing about using that behavior assessment tool. Please call my cell or send me a note if you have any questions. You matter, so managing matters. Thank you.